Thank you very much for watching KBC Channel 1. My name is Betty Kiptum and Susan Thuku is my colleague on the sign language interpretation. This is BizCheck, and for the next around 2 hours, we shall be having some interesting conversations. Our first conversation will be on matters of AI adoption in Kenya. Where is Kenya in terms of preparation, investment, skilling its people to keep up with the times of the artificial intelligence? In the second conversation, we shall be talking about how to ensure that packaging is done sustainably. But first, we want to get into that conversation on matters AI adoption. And in studio, I am with Ivan Gishuki, who is the Director of Software Development and Digital Services at the State Department of ICT and Digital Economy at the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy. That's him on your screen. And also we have Linda Lele, who is an IT specialist and a technology consultant. Karibuni sana, and thank you for joining us. Right, I will start with you, Ivan. Just tell us where we are in Kenya in terms of preparedness for AI adoption.
Thank you so much and good morning.
Good morning.
In terms of AI strategy adoption, Kenya is not left behind. And one of the most strategic initiatives we have done as a country is to adopt a national strategy, the AI Strategy 2025-2030, which is a roadmap for the outlining the adoption of AI in the country and guidelines in terms of policy and strategic investments towards the same. So that's significant in the country and for the country. Position Kenya as in a very strategic way of adoption AI. Thank you.
Before I come to you, Linda, I'd just like you even to delve a little bit into the AI strategies. Just give us pointers of where we are headed between 2025 to 2030 in Kenya.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that key question. In terms of AI strategy, in terms of AI, one of the key aspects is skilling to align with the emerging technologies. The other aspect outlines about investment. The other one outlines about adoption, sustainable adoption of AI without affecting the ecosystem. And those are the foundation of the AI adoption and in the country. Yes.
Right, Linda, let me bring you into the conversation now. You are in the field and you have been in IT for a while. Yeah. Of course, we know that technology changes on a daily basis, and we are in the AI space now. What is your experience in that space?
My experience in the AI space, first from way back, there was no AI. Like currently, everyone has AI with them. Everyone has AI in their pocket. We have smartphones. So AI is here with us, and we should embrace AI because we have it with us. And like maybe 10 years ago, when we just used to learn AI in school and we saw it as something in the future, maybe we won't reach there, but right now we are with AI, and we have AI now, and we have to work with it.
Right. Yeah. Let's talk about, he mentioned the issue of investment as well as skilling. I know the government has been very intentional in terms of skilling the workforce to keep up with the changing technologies to ensure that service delivery is done. And skilling does not only apply for government employees, it's across board. Let's talk about why it is important to skill, upskill and reskill people in the AI space. I'll start with you, Linda.
It's important for us to be skilled in AI because, as I said earlier, like that is where we are going. We cannot escape from it. That is the right direction we are taking. And generally, it's not only IT people who are supposed to be AI, to know AI. Everyone in the whole market, healthcare, innovation, construction, insurance, everyone is supposed to be skilled in AI. So it's important for everyone, not necessarily be an AI engineer, but at least be AI literate. So it's important to have everyone skilled. We don't want to leave anyone behind, all the way from our Gen Alpha, all the way to our old generation. We all have smartphones now, and we can be skilled in AI.
Evan, your thoughts on that, skilling?
Well, when we come to skilling about AI, I think I want to bring to attention that skilling has been happening, but due to emerging technologies, there is change of the new roles driven by technology, and more specifically AI. So that drives the need for reskilling. and skilling cuts across all the sectors, apart from the technology, the other sectors of the economy, spanning from agriculture, financial, amongst others, because the next driver is AI. So skilling, reskilling, skilling and reskilling is adequate. Reskilling is to make sure that all population in these terms aligns with the new changing trends in terms of the career, in terms of the working. And skilling is to the position the future workers, who are the young population of the country, to be able to address or to adopt the new jobs created by AI. Mm-hmm. So that's the position.
Right. I like that you've mentioned the new jobs created by AI. Of course, AI presents quite an opportunity in terms of opening up the economy. We shall be talking about that in a little bit. We continue with our conversation on matters AI adoption in the country. I am with Evan Gishuki, the Director of Software Development and Digital Services at the State Department of ICT and Digital Economy at the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy. We also have Linda Lele, IT specialist and technology consultant. And just joining us right now is engineer Dr. Julius Butime, who is at the School of Computing and Engineering Sciences at Strathmore University. Thank you very much for joining us, engineer, and thank you for staying with us, the two of you.
Thank you.
Asante sana. Before we took that particular link, we were talking about skilling and upskilling, and of course, engineer yourself in the academia play a very key role in terms of skilling the next generation and also skilling people in the workforce. Please tell us your experience on that.
Well, it's quite an interesting space to be in, and of course very critical for our countries, and looking at Kenya and the transformation that's happening across the digital space. We are not yet there. I mean, much as we've made many strides, but the demands and the needs and the population, and looking at where vis-a-vis looking at infrastructure and the reach. And so that's a gap that you see that still needs to be built. And looking at the grassroots from the primary, secondary, and then coming into the tertiary institutions. So this is something that, looking at where Kenya wants to go, is where the universities now come in to see how do we bridge that gap. And so that's where I sit, and of course interacting with very young people and trying to paint for them the panorama, what the landscape looks like, on where they can go and where they can plug and what they could go on to do. And so a lot of the effort is really looking at what's looking up ahead, and then what could we then do as academia to get them to really then meet the needs of what Kenya wants to do in the digital space. But looking at the digital space as not an end, but as an enabler for other sectors. Yeah, so that's where I sit.
Mm-hmm. I'll stay with you for just a little bit. We have had time in, time out that the academia or the universities are churning out students who do not have what it takes to actually do something meaningful in the market. And so there's a lot of training that has to be done despite someone having gone through the schooling. What is your comment on that?
That's something I am very passionate about, and we've moved from models that are around, we would say there's a triple helix, which is government, industry, and academia, which is a three-legged stool. But now we are looking at the quadruple helix, which is not even a helix, a quadruple one, but looking at government, industry, academia, and society, because what we are doing is looking towards society. So that means that as we look at what we're doing in the university, we have to constantly be scanning what government is thinking and what the industry is looking at. Now, for this particular conversation, it's now actively talking to industry to make sure that we are aware of what they're sitting on, what kind of tools they have, what kind of skills they need, and of course bringing that back into the curriculum and then training. But it's looking at the speed at which we move. Every curriculum will go through its full cycle before you do a review. but there has to be interventions that require that you then can make some quick changes before the students can be taken out. And so the things that we are looking at is what kind of training facilities do we have, and can industry put interest in what kind of facilities are there and work with the university that we have the tools adequate for training the students, such that you bridge and shorten the training requirement after graduation and then bring it into the curriculum. So that's the conversation we are having.
Right. Linda, you are representing industry here, and in terms of the talent that comes from tertiary institutions into the market, what has been your experience, and what would be maybe your message to the academia to give us a better crop to improve?
I'll give an example of myself. When we were in school, we are it's not really practical, but we get to learn a lot of things, what we'll use in the future, maybe not in the front end. But once you get into the market, that might be something different, because you get to experience like real life. But now I'm glad that they're starting AI early. They are teaching the students, and when they get to the job market, the new generation, the people who are coming into the market, they are tech savvy. Even if it is not the IT department, if they're coming to marketing, if they're going to HR, they should be able to enhance the industry and help them to automate like repetitive tasks. It's a good thing that AI and IT is being introduced in schools, so that the people who are coming into the market are able to help the current institutions to embrace AI. And also for the people who've been working there for long, they'll be able to also learn from these young people. They learn the tech part, and also the new generation will learn how to run the industry from the others. So yeah, they're doing a good job.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
I hope you had that. Yes, Ivan, your thoughts on that?
To add on to what Dr. Ijia Butime said, as a government, the priority is to also to address the issue of inclusivity. As the technology shifts, the policy tries to guide on how we address the inclusivity of all the communities and the persons with disability, to make sure that we are working together, there is no digital divide. Secondary is the ethical adoption of AI from the policy perspective to spur growth in various economic sectors. So the government has put a lot of efforts in terms of policy to make to create a very practical ground where AI and the practitioners in the industry can be able to adopt. That's positioned the country as a top destination for AI investment, and also to spur the growth for the private sector who want to venture into that area. And also skilling perspective, the curriculum, there's a public appeal for the curriculum review to incorporate all the changes, and the government is working with the academia, and that is the faculty and the student perspective, to try to bring into the visibility of what is happening across the world to be at par with the level the other developed countries. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's talk about something that you have mentioned, ethical adoption of AI. We know that technologies do not come with they also have their negatives. There are ills that come with it. So how do we ensure that as a country we are adopting AI but also protecting our people, and considering that technology is not something that has borders, you know?
Yes.
You're adopting it here, you can use it across the world. Yes, so how can we ensure that we are adopting it in a way that we are also safeguarding our people? I'll start with you, Ivan.
Thank you. A good question. And for me, where I sit, policy and governance structures are the foundation pillars for ethical adoption of AI. And one of the policy documents that governs that is the AI strategy, 25 to 2030. That addresses the key principles that need to be done for ethical adoption of the strategy of the AI in the country. Thank you.
Right. Your thoughts, Engineer?
Yeah, thank you. So looking at ethics and the landscape is that of course, the value system you use ordinarily in your country is the same value system that you'll carry to technology. And so these are things that have to be embedded within what we are trying to adopt and how we are going to use it and how it will impact on our communities. So these are now things that we cannot avoid. So I'm not saying now at the university, but our key focus has also been on looking at the whole person, and everyone there will have to go through a course on ethics and apply it to their different areas. Yeah? But this is now starting with the human being on the end who's going to then use the technology. Yeah? So you carry your value system as you go on the internet. So if you're going to think badly about things, definitely you're looking for how to manipulate a system. But if you're going in there to make good, try to help or make your business or try to do something good out of it, then of course you'll go in with that attitude towards the technology. So the same value system goes into what you're trying to do in this. And I think as most of the tech we are receiving is coming in from outside, we as adopters have to find a way to filter and sieve what is good for us, what's not good for us, what can we use, what helps our communities, what helps our societies, such that we don't get lost in this bombardment of things. Because looking at the tech currently, we are majorly on the receiving end and now trying to build our own models and trying to develop our own adoption. So it's a very good space to be in, but a lot has to go on also in understanding what's coming at us and synthesizing it to see what's good and what's not relevant for our scenarios. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Linda, your thoughts on ethical adoption?
They've given very good points. I would say awareness. We should keep people aware, especially at a young age. I believe in sensitizing the Gen Alphas. They are always online. And also the Gen Zs and coming up, we should focus on awareness and make sure that they know there's good and bad in AI. So we should focus on the good side, and they should know their repercussions. And as he said, we should have policies and rules and regulations, and people should be held accountable if they break the rules. So we should be aware of the systems we are using. So sensitize the people.
Right. For a lot of people, their awareness of AI is ChatGPT, you know. Maybe we can break this down in terms of what exactly can AI do beyond, you know, searching for things and recipes and stuff on ChatGPT. What can it do for the economy? How can it power different industries? Any takers on this one? Sure.
Yeah. So AI is very wide. It's not only ChatGPT. Most of our users know ChatGPT. Mm-hmm. There are different tools and platforms we can use AI. We can use AI to create videos. In the office, you can use, we have something called Gemini. We have Google Workspace, which can help you summarize your emails, write reports. And also we can use AI in the healthcare system and agriculture. And that's where we have potential in our country. We can use AI to predict the weather and predict the crops we are supposed to plant. Instead of doing the same thing every time, we can leverage on AI and make sure it helps us. So it's a wide range. We can use it for so many things and not only to ask, what can I cook today? Yeah.
Right. Dr. Butime?
Yeah, thank you. Interestingly, I saw one bot that has been created to help in digital governance. So we're looking at, it's being rolled out, I think, by the Commonwealth. But so they created a digital minister of health who was able to browse through all the government documents and budgets and things, and now ably inform the president of what steps need to be done in the health sector to the dot in terms of steps to be done. So this is something that the capabilities of AI have hardly been tapped into. Yeah? Not the usual prompts that we do for chatting, but there are many possibilities in terms of enhancing our ability to get the data, browse it, take decisions and impact on people's lives, and that way you harness its power. Yeah? But of course, looking at this also, there are other underlying things that you have to look into. Of course, the availability of power to then power all this infrastructure, and of course the investment that goes into that. But the capabilities for AI are not even been looked into in terms of what possibilities are there for what it could do, which is why a good understanding is very key to what its capabilities are, beyond helping students in class and helping. It can be applied to a vast array of areas, from finance, education, health, agriculture, the sectors that she names, that will then transform how we look at the things we are doing. And that is from an informed perspective, to see that the decisions we are taking are then backed up with a lot of data that you can then ably support and hold simple tasks. So you're looking at what's the strength of the West compared to Africa. It's information, access to information. So all the information we are fed is from the West, most of it. And so when you start thinking through and sifting through, you end up automatically just saying, this is too much information, let me just agree with you. But you don't have the time to then go on your own to understand, synthesize, and do that. Now, AI can help us to do some of these things. If you're going for a negotiation with anybody, well, throw everything at AI and say, summarize this for me and tell me what I need to think about, what I need to ask, and then what are the key things from this point of things. So summary, synthesis, decision-making, these are the powers that could actually then be put in people's hands to now see that they are informed when they come to reach decisions and go about their lives.
Right. Evan, thoughts?
Thank you. For me, AI, I view it in two perspectives. At personal level, you can use the ChatGPT to just do the basic tasks that you can be able to do, maybe photography, editing, research at a personal level. But you go to the next level of enterprise level, where now the corporates comes in very strongly. And one, it can help in predictive patterns. Traditionally, you have to have somebody or a team sitting down there, producing all the data and trying to simulate using manual processes. AI comes in handy because it will reduce the human aspect to a computerized process, which can now be able to aggregate large volumes of data and analyze and give a prediction, or analyze, come up with a solution for a specific problem. That way, it leaves the same capital that human are putting across to reinvest. So that's add value to the enterprise level, because the resources put to do one task can be retransferred and adds value to either for growth and development or expansion of the enterprise level. In terms of the medical facility, maybe medical area, we can use AI to analyze the challenges of in the medical field using predictive. Big knowledge, a lot of data can be collected across and be able to share knowledge between the continent on a specific medical area. In agriculture, it's also used very well in terms of prediction in weather. It's all over across. So there's perspective of a human at the personal level, which can be able to simplify your simple tasks and solve them within shortest period, not necessarily going back and learning. And at enterprise level, when it's picked at the enterprise level, it can be able to help and reduce. And an example is the media, where we are now. The traditional media, the AI can simplify on how we do things and record in the media fraternity. So I think that's a case in example. And there are quite many cases in all the sectors. You cannot fail to find one.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Let's talk about, as engineer mentioned, a lot of the AI tools that we are adopting are not built by us, Africans, They are built by the West and they are coming this way. So I would like to hear from you the possibility of leveraging these tools to build solutions for our local problems. Yeah. We can start with you, Linda.
we can use, we have, as a country, we already have all the ingredients. We have the potential to grow, and we have the knowledge, and we have the knowledge, and we have the tools, maybe. So from like the way institutions are training our students, we can make use of that. We can, AI learns from the data that we put in, and most of the data that is there is not from within, from us. So we should embrace using AI, and that will enhance our knowledge on AI. And we should also encourage young people to take up software development. That is where now they can build, because we have potential. We have like a whole pool of potential on what we can do with AI in our country. So we should I'm not getting the word. Yeah, we should go out there and try and marry the potential and the ingredients we have, so that we can make use of AI.
Thank you. I'll get to you, Engineer and Gishuki, in a little bit. Before we went to Mombasa, we were talking about how to build tools using AI that speak to the problems that we face here in Kenya, in the East African region, and of course in Africa. And I'd like to throw it now to Engineer Butime, kindly.
Okay, thank you. So just to highlight some of the efforts that we are making as academia, and this is something that we are looking at. How do we then harness the power of AI? So elements around languages. Yeah, so realize that AI is built in English, but we have many we call them low resource languages that need to be incorporated onto the AI platforms, such that it makes it reachable to as many users across the continent. So Swahili has been one of those that has been highly incorporated, because there's a good lexicon and writings around that, and many speakers across the continent. But we're also looking at getting other languages and building a tool that can then make it easier to incorporate other low-level languages onto the platforms. So this is work that we are doing, and there are many groups across Africa looking at various areas and trying to incorporate health data and trying to enable that to be accessed in various languages, and such that one is able to prompt, same as you would prompt the ChatGPT, but in your dialect, and then get a response in that, and almost making it also context aware in regards to how you respond, not just a direct translation, but also giving you the context of the translations, especially if you're going to be in a sector that's as critical as health, where you need to, let's say, if it's telemedicine, and you're getting information from a mother who's receiving her antenatal care with a doctor who's remotely located, and now managing that translation so that there's no misdiagnosis in terms of the impact of what it will have. But these use cases are being built, and I would say we need a lot more uptake and support by the communities. You want your languages to come on board and get your dialects in there. Yes, there are people looking at how to do this, and researchers looking at how to then bring all these low-level languages or low-resource languages. By low-resource means there are many speakers, but there's little literature in terms of writings and documentation about it. We tend to write a lot in English and little in our dialects. So that means that we also struggle when we're looking for things in our own mother tongues. And so sometimes it's embarrassing to say my mother tongue is English because you've grown up speaking it all your life. But other people, their mother tongue is really their mother tongue. And so when they're interacting with technology, they will first take it back to their mother tongue, then translate into English to then now relate with technology. So that creates a handicap. However, when you look at the developed countries, the Chinese are developing these models in Chinese, the Americans in English, and so the British. And so you find that it comes natural to them to write as many things and interact with the technology. On the other African side, we are looking at coming from our own dialects, getting into English, coming back. So there's a whole mental process that the African has gone through, but it's an advantage also because You're able to think in various contexts in different languages, and that is a strength and not a disadvantage. Thank you.
Thank you. Your thoughts, Gishuki, especially in terms of government supporting these innovators who are coming up with these solutions as well?
Fine, thank you for the question. I think my view on that aspect is that government is advocating for what we call localization, local innovations, so that we come up with the AI models that suits our needs. The strategy outlines in one of the pillars was research and development and in innovation on the AI area, where we're advocating for development of local AI models which align to our customs and traditions. That way, it will be an inclusivity and will address many of our local challenges, rather than adopting other countries' AI models, which we may not 100% not adopt, but we're advocating for local AI models. That can be achieved through research, and one of the initiatives amongst many others is working closely with the academia, as I highlighted, to promote, to develop talent in that area. The other area is on the digital hubs that the government is developing. Those are the foundation pillars or elements for research, because in every ward in this country, we have diversity of the various languages that we have, about 43 in the country. In every ward, we can be able to do a model addressing the challenges of that area, using the local talent, and that way we can be able to grow our models and make sure that they are localized and addresses our gaps. So that's the position. It's very clear in the AI strategy as one of the pillars.
Right, and in terms of supporting the young people, you work with a lot of young people. You also work with a lot of young people, Linda, you had told me earlier. Supporting them to be able to come up with these solutions and actually access the industry, because there's coming up with an idea, innovating, and then for that idea to be taken up, there's a lot more that needs to be done. That support that they need. Sure, you can start, Linda.
Yeah, I can go first.
Yeah.
Supporting the young people, it's mentoring them. Yeah, talking to them, especially like in the IT field, we have very few women, but I'm glad they are taking up the course right now. And so mentoring young people, we sometimes have sessions to mentor university students and students in the CBC in high school and in primary school, and also providing tools for them to be able to do the software, like laptops and the software to use, and basically the knowledge. So providing the infrastructure for them to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lot of mentorship. Mm-hmm. Yeah, engineer, doctor.
Okay. Yeah, speaking of the young people and the youth, which are 60% of our population, yeah, so that's a big responsibility in terms of what we have to do. Encouraging them to adopt the tools well and looking at what they'll be doing in the future. Like I said, the technology is an enabler. It's not the panacea of everything, yeah? So we need to look at it that way and see, we'll still need to find water, we'll still need to find land, and we'll need to find resources that we need to sustain humanity. Technology comes in to help us quicken tasks, make decisions better, get more information around things. So this is where we need to help the young people understand that it's not an end, but a means to actually something. And so you will still need to get up and work and do something that's productive. Much as AI exists, you still need to lay your bed. You still need to clean up. So those are things that AI cannot do for you. You still have to clean and leave some hygiene, see a doctor and get treated. AI won't do that for you. It will give you information about your health, more or less, but you still need to go to the medical practitioner to receive that. So there are things that we cannot totally do away with, and so it's something that we have to help the young people understand that, yes, tech is there, we use it, but it has its direction. And of course, the human interaction still is a requirement, and especially in the various ways. So I still need to be polite as I'm carrying myself around and trying to interact with other people, because that is now what it means to be in society. Yeah? Technology is there, yes, and like I say, it's a tool for us to see how can we leapfrog some of the things that we have been struggling with. And you can see the various adoptions of technology in Kenya and the impacts they've had on the populace. Yeah, so that is something that we would be very keen to see. How do we harness now AI and any other technology that will come? Now it's AI. Yeah, we don't know what it will be in the next few years, because the cycle of technology rollout and churning out is always moving. So you just have to keep scanning and seeing what's next. And so for the young people now is to keep that open mind, to see that we are always willing to keep learning and not shutting out and saying that now we've arrived. We have to keep an open mind to technology and to new things, and keep that inquisitive mind, because that is what now helps you live through the different changes.
Gishuki, thoughts on that?
Thank you. In terms of support to the young population, the government has is running so many programs to ensure that there is support. These joint programs where we have the private sector, academia, and the government. And that way, we are making sure that the skilling happens, focus on skilling, and also sharing knowledge between the big tech companies and the startup ecosystems. So that way, it makes an inclusive society which is able to move together. As Dr. Butime has highlighted, that technology is transitioning. Today's AI, we cannot predict what comes after AI. So, but for us to be at par, we are advocating for a lot of research and development, and also a lot of exchange between the government, private sector, more specifically on the big tech companies and local startup. Is an ecosystem that need to work together to make sure that everybody at par. The other thing as a government we are doing is promotion, intentional promotion of the technologies and creating awareness, such as the various summits like one we are running, the Kenya Software and AI Summit, which is coming up on between 10th and 12th November. That will bring all together all the stakeholders to understand the ecosystem, how it works. And such a forum will have the fintech, the financial sector, the government for policy, the academia to understand the academic ecosystem, both the students and the faculty, and all the other actors, the startups and the big techs together in one table. That's an intentional drive from the government to ensure that everybody understands this new phase and what it brings along. So those are the kind of initiatives that we are doing as a government to make sure that we can accelerate adoption and contribute to the economy. Thank you.
So as we come to a close of this conversation, I'll give each of you 1 minute to give us your closing remarks and tell us what is the future of AI for you, the future of technology, because as you said, it will be AI today, tomorrow it will be something else. Yeah, let's start with you, Linda.
My parting shot is we should upscale. We have so many short courses online. Whichever field you are in, you just do the short courses so that the train doesn't leave you. And people should know that AI will not replace you. We still need physical people. We are the ones who make the decisions. And AI will not replace you, but maybe people who know AI will have an advantage over you. So don't be left behind.
Don't be left behind. Yeah. Jobs are not at risk. You have to keep skilling. Engineer?
Yeah. In my case, I would say the opportunities that are presented by AI are vast, and that we are not even scratching the surface of what capabilities are there in the various fields. So there's a lot of people required to actually harness the AI potential. And so those opportunities I see for the young people and for our countries to actually streamline, create efficiencies and manage systems better, and really work with the technology to improve where we are. So for me, I would say going forward is that we need to critically look at the AI strategy and now synthesize that has been developed by the team at the ministry and the government and really put in place. As academia, we are putting up a think tank as academics to now look at the AI strategy, and we'll be having that meeting tomorrow as Deans of Computing at Strathmore University. We are doing that to really try and see that we move as one, as universities, to see that whatever skills are required for the tech space, we are working and speaking as one. And that is something that's critical, and also working with the government to see that the pipeline then is created and industry as well. Because this synergized effort is very critical for us to see that we are not training in vain, that when the students leave the university, they're not sitting at home folding their hands to wait to see, okay, now I don't have a job, I'm waiting. Yet we know that we need these particular skills in the country, and we can harness on that population such that there's a coordination of how training is done in the country for the needs that the country has. And that is now a conversation where we constantly talk to each other as government, academia, industry, to see that we are not doing things for the sake of doing them. Thank you.
Thank you. Collaboration and constant communication among all stakeholders. Yourself?
Thank you. Myself, from where I sit, is that I want to re-emphasize that emerging technologies, as the name implies, will still continue emerging. And today is AI, we have blockchain, we have other technologies that are there. But the foundational skills will still remain. The emerging technologies are only coming to enhance how we do things. So as we advocate for AI adoption and other technologies adoption, let's not lose focus on the foundational skills that we need to have. The software engineering skills that can produce models for the AI or for the address the issue of the emerging techs that are coming in terms of blockchain and everything. So the foundational skills are primary. The emerging tech will come and complement that, and those who match the two will emerge the winners. So for me, a lot of emphasis on the foundational principles of skills and values, and then AI and other emerging technologies will come and enhance the capability. So that's what my principle. And then secondary, I want to invite everyone to the premiere or the inaugural Kenya Software Summit, Kenya Software and AI Summit 2025, which will be held at Moi University, and ex-campus at Eldoret on 10th to 12th. And we'll extend this discussion of AI, software, emerging technologies, the ecosystem, the industry, and where are we. And we expect all the actors in the sector to participate in it so that we can drive this nation as one, contribute towards improvement of what we have, and also to learn from each other. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your thoughts. I think that is a great place to end the conversation. I have been speaking with Evan Gishuki, Director, Software Development and Digital Services at the Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy. We've also had Engineer Dr. Julius Butime, who is at the School of Computing and Engineering Sciences at Strathmore University, as well as Linda Lele, who is an IT specialist and technology consultant, talking about Kenya's AI adoption, if the groundwork has been laid, and what we need to do to ensure that we are at par with the rest of the world. We want to take a quick break. When we come back, we shall be talking about sustainability in packaging. Do stay with us.